the power of silence. Most men don't understand the language of silence. They think the only way to prove their worth is through constant words, explaining, defending, persuading. But silence carries a gravity that words can never match. When you go silent, you create a void she can't escape. You strip away the distractions, the arguments, the noise. All that's left is the echo of your absence. And that echo is deafening. Think about it. Every text you don't send, every argument you don't have, every explanation you don't give, it forces her to sit in the emptiness. And that emptiness is not weakness, it's presence, it's power. Part 2, her initial reaction. At first, she scoffs. She thinks she knows you. She expects you to fold, to chase, to come crawling back like always. She convinces herself your silence is just a phase, that you'll break in a matter of hours. But then, the hours stretch into days. The days stretch into weeks. And suddenly, the pattern is broken. That's when doubt creeps in. She starts replaying the past in her mind. Your words, your actions, your tone. She wonders, did I push him too far? Has he finally seen his own worth? Is he really gone? The silence gnaws at her. It unsettles her. Because for the first time, she's not in control of the rhythm, and that terrifies her more than any words ever could. Part 3, your transformation. But here's the truth most men miss. Silence isn't about her, it's about you. When you stop chasing, you stop bleeding energy into someone who didn't value it. And that energy, you reclaim it. You redirect it. You invest it back into yourself. Instead of explaining yourself to someone who never listened, you build yourself. You sharpen your mind. You harden your body. You strengthen your purpose. Day by day, in the quiet, you become something new. Not louder, not needier, but stronger. Clearer, a man who doesn't seek validation, a man who doesn't need to beg to be understood. And that transformation, it doesn't scream. Part 6, the new you. In silence, something happens. Something most men don't expect. You begin to change. The man who once lived in reaction becomes the man who moves with intention. The man who once checked his phone every 5 minutes now checks himself. The man who once measured his worth by her mood now measures it by his discipline, his actions, his growth. Silence forges a different kind of man. Not the boy she thought she could manipulate, but the man she can't reach anymore. And here's the paradox. When you no longer need her, that's when she begins to need you. But by then, you're not the same man she left behind. You've built yourself into something greater, something she cannot control, something she cannot break. You don't beg for attention. You command respect. You don't chase affection. You attract admiration. You don't cling to the past. You walk into the future with clarity. And this transformation, it's irreversible. Once you've tasted the strength that comes from silence, you'll never again settle for being a man who explains himself to someone who never listened. Part 7, the breaking point. Here's the truth she doesn't want to admit. Silence terrifies her because it forces her to sit with herself. When you go silent, she is left with no distraction, no validation, no one to project her insecurities onto. And in that emptiness, she sees herself clearly. The flaws she ignored, the mistakes she made, the respect she never gave. It is not you she regrets losing. It is the man you became without her. And that's what breaks her. But this time, the silence isn't punishment. It isn't revenge. It's revelation. It's the unshakable proof that you don't need her to define you. You've already defined yourself. So here's the truth, brother. Silence was never about her. It was about you. About finally learning that your worth doesn't depend on someone else's attention, approval, or affection. Most men spend their lives begging to be heard, chasing to be seen, and apologizing for being themselves. But you've chosen the harder road. The road where you no longer explain yourself, no longer defend yourself, no longer chase what was never meant for you. And that road changes everything. When you embrace silence, you stop being the echo of someone else's validation and start becoming the voice of your own destiny. You discover that the man who walks alone, quietly, with discipline, is the man every room eventually notices, because his presence speaks louder than noise ever could. She may regret losing you. She may realize too late what she dismissed, but that's not the victory. The victory is that you no longer need her to recognize what you've become. You've seen it yourself. You've built it yourself. This silence has turned into your foundation. It has become the ground beneath your discipline, the fire behind your growth, the calm in your storm. And one day, maybe soon, maybe years from now, you'll look back and realize this silence saved you. It freed you from being chained to someone else's approval. It forced you to face yourself. And in doing so, it gave birth to the man you were always meant to be. So let me ask you this. Will you continue chasing ghosts? Or will you embrace this silence and step fully into your power? Will you keep pouring your worth into hands that never held it with care? Or will you finally stand as the man who no longer begs, but builds? Because your story isn't over. It's just beginning. If this message hit you, don't let it end here. Like this video so I know you're choosing strength over chasing. Comment below. Have you ever embraced silence and realized how much power it gave you? I want to hear your story, because your voice might be the reason another man finds his strength tonight. And most importantly, subscribe. Join this brotherhood of men who are done begging for validation. Men who are walking the Stoic path. Men who are rebuilding themselves into unshakable forces. Remember, the world may not always applaud you. Women may not always understand you. But you don't live for their applause. You live for your purpose. And the loudest statement you'll ever make is the silence you choose to keep.